morning everyone, it's Carol here at Collage Journals. Lovely to have you back with me. I'm going to do one of Margarete Miller's collages for her challenge of 2025. So it's week 40. So these are her prompts. I've got my prompt choices down here, so just quickly taking you through them. Something that has a plug. Well, I'm working on the basis that plants have plugs. A plug for a plant is a young seedling that are grown in a professional regulated environment. So I'm working on the basis that I can use a plant, and I've got this RHS collage book, and I've got some plant images that I want to use and audition. So the first one is this, so I'm going to fussy cut this one out. The second one is, where are we? This down here. The third one is, where are we? This one, nice and delicate, soft pinks. The fourth one is this one, and actually as I'm looking at it now, I'm not going to bother with that one. So I've got three options there of plants or flowers that I'm going to fussy cut out and use to hit that first prompt. So let me pop this off to one side. A piece of patterned paper. I've got this piece of paper here, and actually if I show you this little book, it is a piece of the cover. As you can see here, this is the front cover, this is the back cover, and I'm just going to use this portion. Doesn't matter that it's got a little label there, I'm going to cover that up, and I will level up that top edge there. Something that represents you. Well, I love fabrics, I love lace, I love stitching, I love embroidery. So I have this piece of a snippet roll that I've been hoarding for absolutely ages. This is the only piece I have left, so I'm going to use a portion of that on my piece today. And now you can see why I've gone for those delicate pink colours, because there's hints of pink on here, and it's got blue on here which picks up the pattern paper. The next prompt, number 4, a photograph. I've got 3 here. I've got this lovely lady here. I like this image, particularly like the size. I'm not so keen on how dark it is, so that might knock this one out of the running. I have this lovely little one here. Again, nice and delicate. I like the fact that she's looking full on at you, and it's not so dark, obviously, as this one. The one I think that will win out is this one, because it's lighter on this background and on this, and because there's a hint of flowers there. This one will work better on there. This one I think will work better overall because it's still close enough to this background, but also I've got little hints of off-white lace there, which will make this look beautiful. In fact, the more I'm looking at that, the more I think this is the one that's going to win out. And I will still keep this one in the running because of the size really, but possibly not that one. So I've got 3 options there for my photograph. Text in a foreign alphabet. I've got some washi text here, which I thought I could use. I think if I peel the washi off, it's going to be too transparent. So I'm thinking I might leave it on the backing and glue it as is to my piece today. So I've got that. The bonus is stenciling, or the bonus prompt is stenciling. Now I've lifted out this Sweet Poppy dimensional paste. It's a translucent, as you can see, and if you watch my Stitch Circle Show Challenge videos, you'll know I use this little tub here as my template for drawing my circle. Love this dimensional paste, and this is what I would use. However, this is another instance where I'm not going to be able to use all the prompts as much as I always try to, for the simple reason that all my stencils are packed away. I could find them in the packing boxes, they're all piled up in the study, but I'm not going to because they're all packed away ready for our move. So I'm not going to be using a stencil today. I might do a scrape of this across my page, I don't know yet, or I might just forget about the bonus prompt altogether, but I have it to use if needs be. So as always, working background here, got some fussy cutting to do, haven't I? So I've got these images here that I will fussy cut. I need to trim this one off at the top there, so I'll get on and get that done and come back to you in a moment or two. These are those 3 flowers cut out. Very, very fiddly to do this one, so I haven't gone into all the little nooks and crannies. This one was even harder because the branches or the stems were so fine. If I decide to use this one, it'll work well in terms of placement around the photograph. So I'm just going to move these off to one side. Okay, let's see what I can create with these pieces here. So this was the portion from the back of that little notebook, and as you can see I've trimmed across the top, and I'm just going to pop it on there to see what that looks like. What I thought with this is making use of the blues. I thought I could perhaps have that down there and snip it off across the bottom. Actually probably would have it that way round, I think, where it's heavier in terms of the colour at the bottom, and just have it going off this a little bit. With this I thought I could have maybe that tucked underneath, so it was coming out slightly, not much but just slightly. You're going to have to imagine I've chopped it off there, maybe a bit more like that, something like that, and just have this peeping out. And then these, so that would be chopped off there, that would be chopped off there, and then this one. Now I liked this one because of the size but not how dark it was, so that one would look something like that. And then maybe with one of the flowers kind of across the bottom, maybe to break it up a little bit, so you've kind of got a sweep round. And this does work in terms of the colours. Don't like it tucked under there. Or I could go with this one and maybe just have it across the corner and slightly down. Not liking that one so much. This one I like better in terms of the colour tones, because there's some quite deep pinks in this, which I think picks up this. So let's try the other photos. I'm not ruling that one out, but I'm not entirely happy with it. This one, she blends better than this in that she's softer, and as I say, there's more soft creamy tones in this, which picks up this background and some of the laces. This flower here would work better with her. I'd move her up. Looking at this flower, it's more peachy pink. Again, this one will work, I think. But again, it's not a perfect colour tone. And going in with this one, I like this one because she's more delicate. Tuck her under some more. And maybe go in with these to try and pick up that colourway there. Now I could arrange these underneath, or I could arrange them on the top. That's quite nice, taking that over the edge. And if I use this piece to create my rule of 3, this one could actually tuck in at the top. Doesn't want to do it now, but I'm thinking that that could potentially tuck in at the top. Yeah, I'm liking that. So that's what I'm going to go with, everybody. So first things first, pop those off to one side. Right, I'm going to rub away my outside working border. Don't need it. I'm going to reduce this portion of the snippet roll down. Just trim it there. I've got that for my pink to connect to. I'm going to be bold and I'm going to cut it right across there. Rough up the edges a little bit, because I don't want a straight edge. I'm going to chop it off down here because that softens it, that little bit of Liberty fabric tucked in there. It softens the piece. And as I said, now I'm just going to rub away my guidelines because I don't need them on this one. I'm going to bring in my glue book and I'm going to glue this onto here. Like that. And this portion down here. I'm leaving this washi tape alphabet prompt piece with its backing on, because if I peel the backing off, I'm going to see this background through the washi, and I don't want that. I want it to stand out a little bit more, so that's why I'm leaving the backing on. This needs to go on fairly quickly because I want to tuck it underneath, but not too much. And I've just glued it down the centre portion there, so it should go on quite nicely. So let me fiddle with these to see where I want these to go. Pretty sure I want this one up at the top here. Half on and half off, maybe something like that up there. Might be quite nice to have down here. Let's tuck this one underneath, see what it looks like. And I could have that one just softening that, take away some of the stem and just have that softening that corner there. I'm liking that bottom portion, so I think I'm going to have a go and glue that in place. So let's do this little one first. Thank goodness when you're gluing these delicate pieces in place for fine detail nozzles and tweezers, I have to say. I don't think I could cope without both of those in my arsenal. Dab off a little bit of the glue where it's too thick. And just arrange that across the corner as best I can. I'm not going to stick these petals down because I want some movement there. That bud I am sticking down, this one I'm going to leave up. These probably, no, not too bad. I was going to say these probably are too stuck down now, but I can get a little bit of movement in this flower here, potentially in that one as well, but not much. So there we go, everybody. Given that I'm not doing any stenciling, which is the bonus prompt, as I said, this is my finished collage for this week, and I have to say I love it. I love it. I really do. I love the touches of blue on the Liberty fabric here and here to pick up the blue there. I like that she's got a corsage there which picks up the flower theme for the plug prompt, and that the colour of the flowers are delicate and pick up this, which is softened down by the lace over the top. The lace is a mixture of off-white and cream, which is picking up the background on there. And yeah, I think it looks delicate enough. I like it, I really do. I'm really pleased with this one. So quickly going through the prompts, something that has a plug. Well, plants have plugs when they're young and they're commercially grown. A piece of patterned paper. I've got this piece here from the back of that notebook. Something that represents you. That's my gorgeous piece of hoarded snippet roll here. My love of fabrics, my love of lace, my love of embroidery and stitching. That's what that represents. A photograph, well, this is one of the, I believe it's one of the Tim Holtz ones. I'm not sure where I got it from, but it might be one of the Tim Holtz photo booth ones. Text in a foreign alphabet. I've got a rogue piece of fabric there. Text in a foreign alphabet. I've got this piece of washi tape there. And the bonus stenciling, well, I'm not even going to risk stenciling on this by way of scraping my stenciling paste across it. That's not technically stenciling in my mind. You do need to have a stencil to put your paste through. And as I say, I can't do that because my stencils are all packed. So there we go, everybody. Thank you as always for watching, and please join me next week. And as always, in the interim, I'll put some photographs at the end of the video. Have a great week. Take care. Bye-bye now.